medicating in a way to deal with their PTSD and, you know, the aftermath that comes with being a veteran.
Yeah. We made reference to it earlier, but there's that second scene in the pool hall with Cowboy, where he's definitely implying that while Anthony was gone, Juanita had a thing with Cuddy. Like it almost sounds like Cuddy is Cowboy's boss.
Yeah.
You know, and then he basically is saying, you know, he took care of your woman while you were gone, and that's kind of what sets Anthony off. Is he keeps talking about Juanita and how Cuddy took care of her, and, you know, implies that, oh, you know, a fine woman like that, and that's what sets Anthony off, and that's when he starts beating the shit out of him with the pool cue. No opportunities going for him. And then it's Joe that kind of brings this plan to him, saying, "Hey, these guys get rid of the old bills. They pass through the post office, and then it's off to the Federal Reserve so that they can burn all the money, all the older bills in circulation." So that's when they're in the car, and Joe's playing with the lighter and asking if they want speed. That's the plan that they're hatching. Is what are we going to do? What will it take?
Do they say how much money is in question?
I don't remember. I think he says something $1 million is what he's implying is what they're going to be pulling out of the bank and then into the post office before it goes to the Federal Reserve.
Obviously, if it's an armored truck like that,
yeah,
it's going to be a big number.
Yeah. So that's when they have the plan, and then there's the confrontation between Anthony and Cuddy in the stairwell. That Anthony, when he's back in Juanita's apartment after that confrontation, that's kind of where the big fight between the two of them happens.
Yeah, because Cuddy pushes him down the stairs, humiliates him, possibly pushes him over the edge with the money situation, because he's like, "You're a fucking, you know, you got nothing going for you, and like all I'm doing is trying to help," and humiliates Anthony.
And then when they're at the table eating dinner, she's talking about his job and
just in his ear, making him feel worse. I feel like in a lot of ways Juanita pushes him to like feel like he has no choice but to try to pull off this big job to kind of get ahead of where he's at, you know, in life in general. And I think they have like a bit of a fight. You can tell he's trying not to get into a domestic dispute, but she keeps pushing and pushing, you know, and she runs because of his PTSD. She runs up on him, and he ends up grabbing her, and he's like, "Don't you ever do that to me," you know. And
she talks about him not wanting to fuck her anymore,
yeah,
because, you know, of the bad dreams and all that. So she keeps hitting all those points with him, and then that's when he loses it. Again,
Lorenz Tate, very underrated.
Yeah, that whole stretch between the Cuddy stuff and then in the apartment when he and Juanita have the fight, he's really good in those scenes.
And then I think it's after when he leaves the apartment and he walks out, and it's just like these kind of long shots of him just walking down the sidewalk with his like his army jacket. It's very reminiscent of Taxi Driver, you know. He
runs into the guy that's passing out the flyers for the meeting of the Nat Turner cadre. So he stops in there, and then that's when he sees Delilah, and she's giving a speech talking about revolution. And then when he sits down with her at the bar, you know, she brings it up again and is talking about, you know, you have no opportunities. Are you prepared to fight for this revolution, for us to be equal and be treated equal? And he's kind of just, you know, whatever. But you can tell that, you know, she's hitting those points with him too, that I don't have any opportunities. I'm not being treated, you know, fairly, and there wasn't anything left for me. I served my country, and there's nothing for me here. He's upset with his situation just as much as, you know, like you said, Juanita is upset with it because he doesn't have anything. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you know, she talks about that she's qualified to handle all these weapons, and then they start hatching this plan to knock over the armored truck and to take the money. And then that's when we move into the last act, and it's this heist movie.
Mm-hmm. I really love that that scene where they're at the table. It's Kirby, Anthony, Skip, and Delilah, right?
Joe.
Oh, and Joe. Yeah. And how they have like this spotlight, so then they'll move in, and then move out. It's a great lighting.
the way it's shot is fantastic.
Yeah.
They have the plan. They have like the excuse me, the street map, and they're showing you where the positions are going to be. And Joe and Anthony are going to be underneath the loading dock. Delilah's going to be across the alley in the dumpster. Skip is going to be on the corner as lookout, and then Kirby's going to be in the car. They're gonna knock over the truck, and Joe, because he has demolitions experience, is going to blow the door off the truck so that they can get in and take the money.
So right away, Kirby is like, yeah, I think somebody should be with Skip. Like, Skip should have another, like, lookout. And I feel like he says that because he knows what kind of condition Skip is in, and he doesn't really trust him.
Like, Delilah offers up someone, and Kirby's like, no, I don't want, like, any of those revolutionary guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know, those guys are going to be nuts.
And then so Anthony's like, well, you know, I know this guy. We were in the war together. Maybe it'll work. And everybody's kind of like, and Skip is kind of mad, where he's like, man, there ain't going to be no money left over for anybody if you're going to bring in all these people.
He says, we might as well put an ad in the paper. We're going to get every motherfucking buddy. It's a really funny line. The line's in the trailer, too. Where he talks about it, where they talk about adding another guy.
They go recruit, or Anthony goes to recruit Cleon, and he's like doing his pastor thing, right?
Yeah, he's preaching. And then when they sit down and they have a discussion in the church where Anthony's trying to convince him to get in on the job, and Cleon's like, I don't know, like I promised the Lord I wouldn't do that stuff. He's obviously turned his life around, is doing very well, and is not the same person that he was when he was in Vietnam. And then, you know, Anthony says, oh, you know, Skip is in on it, and he says he's unsure as to whether or not to take the job because he says, you know, Skip froze up when we were out there.
Which is ironic when you think about how things eventually play out, but continue.
I mean, obviously, the heist is probably the big set piece of the film. What the film is mainly known for.
Yeah. I mean, the cover, the makeup.
Yeah, like that makeup is pretty iconic. Which was such a rad look.
Simple.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What would you say? Like, is it like a ghost or like a ghoul? What would you classify that? I won't say clown makeup.
Mime?
Maybe mime? Okay, mime.
I would say that's what I would think
like
of.
Like the mime makeup, or like white face, like black, like the black eyes.
And it really actually works because if you didn't know who each person was, you can't differentiate them. You don't know that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we have, Skip is waiting at the bus stop.
He's real twitchy too, and he's like waiting out there. He's like smoking that cigarette, and he's kind of swaying back and forth.
Looking real suspect.
Yeah. And then Cleon is on the other side of the street. And they're both bus stops, so like they can be there. Mm-hmm. But it's like really odd because it's early in the morning, and like I said, Skip is
looking back and forth.
Yeah.
almost pacing.
But you can see that Skip is upset when he sees that it's Cleon coming to join him.
And then you have Delilah's already positioned in the dumpster. And then it's Anthony and Joe under the
They're under the loading dock.
Yeah.
Armored truck rolls up. They jump out. The driver sees them in the rear view. Screams out ambush. And then all fucking hell breaks loose.
The guy inside the armored car is like a real cowboy, where he fucking 6 to 12 gauge out the side, and he takes a shot at Jose, right?
Yeah, because he runs back underneath the dock and starts getting the explosive ready.
And then Anthony's on the other side, so he gets up and is holding one of the guards at gunpoint, but then another guard ends up coming outside, right?
Yeah, he smashes that guy in the face with a shotgun. Like, it's fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the blood that, like, the guy just spits right out. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, that other guy comes out shooting. Anthony shoots him in the leg. Delilah pops up out of the dumpster, shoots one of the guys.
She saves Anthony from being shot. I think a guy comes out and is gonna clip Anthony from while he's not looking, and Delilah pops up and ends up saving Anthony's life. But then another guy comes out, I think, and ends up they trade fire, and she gets fatally wounded.
Yeah, she kills him,
and
and he kills her.
It happens very, very fast,
But then on the other side of the street, the cop comes walking his beat, comes upon Cleon, asks him, what he's doing out there. Are you waiting on the bus?
He sees his jacket.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh yeah, I did a tour as well. And he's just trying to chop it up with Cleon.
And you can tell that, like, he's trying to, like, talk to him to get him to leave. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I got the bus at the same time. It's no trouble, because the guy says, I'll call in and see if I can find the schedule for the bus. It's no trouble. Skip obviously is real nervous now. And then once all the gunfire starts down the block at the Federal Reserve, the cop goes, and then Cleon goes to grab him, kind of misses him. The cop takes off. Skip trades fire with him. Then Kirby pops up out of the car, trades fire with him. Ends up getting shot.
In the arm, I think?
In the arm, yeah. And then the cop kind of ducks behind the mailbox. And that's when Skip comes up.
And just point blank.
The shot, like, right through the head is brutal. And then he pops him another couple of times when he's on the ground. And then he gives Cleon that look. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? How come you didn't do anything? And then, yeah, back at the dock, you see Delilah gets shot. Anthony shoots the guy. He grabs a gun. He has another gun that he shoots the guy while he's down. And then he goes to shoot the other guard. And he runs out of bullets.
So he just beats him to death with the pistol.
It's that heist scene is fucking violent as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vietnam stuff was pretty violent, but the heist scene is really intense. And then the truck takes off. Joe hops on the back, attaches the explosive, and Kirby is trying to stop the truck from going any further, so he drives his car in front of it to slow it down. And then just as the truck smashes into the car, Jose blows it. Except he doesn't blow the door off.
He blows the entire truck.
Blows the whole fucking truck up. And then you can see, like, the explosion and then just all the cash flying through the air, burning. And he's really excited about it.
He's like, did you see the doors come off? And they're like, no. Skip is like, you blow the whole motherfucking truck up, man.
And then Kirby's just like, grab what you can before it all burns. But, like, whatever money was in there, 3/4 of it is toast. And even what they do recover, by
It's-
the looks of it, some